I was born about 2.5 months early to parents who weren't expecting me quite yet. I weighed a whopping 2 pounds, 11 ounces, and was 14.5 inches long. My parents had high hopes for me, with visions of future athletic greatness on their minds, or at least a place in the marching band. As I grew up, it became apparent that I was developing a little differently. I did a funky baby military crawl until about 18 months when I finally walked. But something was still off. I didn't have the gazelle-like running motion of other kids. Instead, I looked more like a duck on the run from a raccoon. Finally, when I was 3 years old, I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a condition caused by a brain hemorrhage at birth. This meant that the muscles in my legs were tighter than they should have been, and I would go on to have a pretty poor sense of balance. Well, music was a constant around my household from the time I was born. Everything from jazz to classic rock to the polka. My dad, shout out to you wherever you are here, he played drums for the Harmony Heroes, a polka band that played the wedding and county fair circuit all over central Wisconsin. Because of this, I played quite a few musical instruments as a kid, at least tried them out. But the drums were the only thing that really stuck with me, since he gave me my first pair of sticks when I was 2 years old. There I am. Behind the kit, I was just another rock star waiting to be discovered. School was another story. For the most part, school was fine until PE class. While the other kids could run with reckless abandon, I still had the legs I was born with, and that meant I didn't do so well in things like soccer or the mile run. But I was okay with that. Then one day, a big fourth grader saw me straggling behind the other second graders and said, "Just walk straight." In my young mind, I thought, this is just how I walk. But I didn't say that to him, because fourth graders are way bigger than second graders. My rise to musical success was briefly stalled at the age of 10. My legs weren't working right, and I needed some major surgery. My cerebral palsy had caused the muscles in my legs to become so tight that my feet were pointed inwards. In other words, if I didn't have this surgery, I could lose my ability to walk. Doctors cut my legs at the bone and rotated my feet to the proper position. And after a month or so in a wheelchair and some time learning to walk again, I was ready to conquer the world with a couple new scars. I continued to play the drums, taking lessons, honing my craft, and upon entering high school, I started playing Green Day covers with some friends in the marching band, and it was glorious. The turning point for me came at the age of 16. That's when I met another person with cerebral palsy online through a music blog. James was a kindred spirit who loved music and worked in the industry, and he later became my band's manager. Yes, my own dreams of my success in music were finally becoming realized. My band signed to a record label and released an album that appeared on 4 separate Billboard charts. We're working on another one this winter. We've been on a few tours all around the Midwest and the East Coast, and because of this, I've been able to meet and form strong friendships with other people like me, including my friend Bree, who has cerebral palsy and plays music, or my friend Ellie, who has epilepsy and started a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to lighting safety awareness at concerts. When I tell people I have cerebral palsy, they often say, "I wouldn't have known," but that's because I don't have any difficulty speaking and I don't use a wheelchair, the common things people associate with the disability. This is because the media often portrays people with cerebral palsy in a more negative light, like they live a lesser life, and this isn't the reality. For example, RJ Mitty and Micah Fowler played characters with cerebral palsy on their shows Breaking Bad and Speechless. Comedian Zach Honor used his disability as material for his YouTube career, used that success as a launchpad to becoming an author and a television writer. I think the most impressive person in this set of examples that I've found is a guy named Justin Gallegos. He's a cross-country runner who just got sponsored by Nike, and he has cerebral palsy. All these people serve as prime examples that disability does not have to limit someone. My disability, my cerebral palsy, doesn't define who I am, but it is a part of me. And it got me on this stage where I'm the rock star.